Hello and welcome. I am away from home. I'm at the beach. I am on Amelia Island in Florida. I came to join my husband on a work trip. So I thought I would take you through some of my goodies that I packed. We drove, so I was able to bring a lot of my fun stuff that make me feel like home. And so it was really interesting. The first day I got here, I asked, what do I need to know right now? And I picked up this sweet card from Kat Rall's um, little tiny deck or oracle deck. And it just says home. And this is exactly how I used to draw a house when I was a little girl. But I love that I can take home with me. And I am very much, I do that all the time. I am a Cancer baby, so home is very important to me. And I tend to create home wherever I go. So I thought I would show some of the goodies that I brought. I've showed this before. I'll show you what I packed this time. This is just a makeup bag. It's a free makeup bag I got from my mother. And I put all of this stuff in it. I have these little bags that I got when I bought some of my various stones and crystals. So I put my special ones in this one because I don't know if you can see it. It's got stars and moons. So I have a rose quartz that I brought and my special quartz from Scotland that I was gifted. And I brought amethyst this time, beautiful purple amethyst. And of course, uh, my grounding stone. I brought this with me, which I always bring. So I will tuck these when I'm ready to leave. I will tuck them in my little string bag. And then I also brought my mala beads. I brought these. These I roll up and I have a red bag for those, for this. So I put that in there. And then before the trip, after my cacao dieta, I made a special magic jar and it has some red clay, it has some salt, has a little bit of sugar, a little sweet. And I added just some other protection herbs in here, and there's a shell that I added from the beach, and it has a couple little scrolls of my intentions that I'm working with. And so I am bringing it on my trip to Sedona, which I leave for on Wednesday. So I will add some earth from Sedona to my special jar. So I'm bringing that. And then I brought along my inspired action lotus way spray and my true strength. And if I'm lucky, I get to go to Lotus Way on Friday for a special trip to their factory. So keep you posted on that. And then I have this tiny little jar that I made. I think it's an ounce that I made. I put apricot oil in and added some clary sage and lavender to this. So I have this and I just dot it like on my third eye, my wrists, and my throat. So I do this before practice each morning. And then I have a little bag of goodies. I'm not going to bring all of these with me, but I have these tiny beeswax candles that are just perfect for little tiny spells. And I usually have a little copper thing, but this time I brought this tiny little candle. I don't know if you can see it. A little tiny candle. My sister gifted it to me, and it's actually perfect because it sticks. Because it's beeswax, I have to melt it first, but it stick it in there. And then I can just light a candle, say a little prayer, do a magic, and then that's not going to stand up. And then I also, to make life easy, I ripped up a piece of a matchbox book and I have various matches that I bring instead of a lighter because I can't fly with a lighter. So I will bring a couple of those with me to on my trip to Sedona. And then I have my bag for my Oracle deck, which the home card came from, and it's a really sweet deck. I will link to it from Cat. It's the Roots and Wings deck, and it has this says breath, birds, and they're just I love them because they fit in the palm of my hands. This one's Journey. The light's kind of bad in here. There you go. Little tent, the waning moon. I love that card. So I carry these with me. I do sometimes have to be weight conscious, so I will be kind of careful of what I bring. But so that's kind of on, and I'm using this little table at the hotel. So I'll put everything back in there. I think all of this will go to Sedona with me on the airplane because I make room. I pack light, except for my goodies. So the other thing I brought this time is I made some bitters that are my springtime bitters that the recipe is in the Aries booklet that I will link to if you want to get a recipe for that. And I bring usually bitters on all of my trips, and traveling food sometimes is hard for my stomach. So I will just add a little of this in the morning. It's just a like a squeezer, and I will add it to my morning water, or throughout the day, I will add it to my water. And that just helps keep my digestion in good shape. This trip, since I had room, these are my favorite jars actually at the moment. They're olive jars, but they're great wide lid jars. And I made a tea. Again, it's the recipe that the springtime tea that's in the Aries booklet. If you want to grab it, it's got ginger and I think this one's got nettles and dandelion in it. If not, I added nettles. And I steep it overnight. So I fill the jar, almost this bowl, with herbs, and then I add the boiling water to it, and I put the lid on and I let it steep all night long, and then I drain it. This time I saved it and I made another batch. So I put the herbs back in and I added more water, and so I'll drink this also. So I usually get two out of my herbs. And again, it's just another way to kind of keep my system semi-regulated because I'm kind of out of sorts when I'm not able to eat the food that I normally like to eat. So that has been very tasty. And then the other thing I thought I would show you is so I've been using these plastic envelopes. Um, I got these off of Amazon and they're actually really great. They hold a ton of stuff, and I put I have like a bunch of magazine clippings I brought. So to journal with, here's my favorite. Look, he's my spirit animal, my elephant. So I brought him because I'm working in a lot of my journals, and I also put in here. I have some um regular happy paper I brought, but it's in different colors. I got spring colors, yellow, blue, and then I also have some painted pages that I painted. So I brought those to add to my journal, just using cheap pen, acrylic paint for these. And so I keep all of this in one big folder. And then I've been loving using when I get packages in the mail, I just use the brown paper that comes as packing. So I flatten it out and it actually works really well and it looks beautiful in your art journal. If you are doing also painting it, marker works really well. I've been playing with that. And then I have a smaller one that I have for all my word cutouts. And it's hilarious. My husband has started to do this. So he has his own stack of cutout of words. And how to hit refresh. Uh, hike. But for this trip, I found recently, I like this one, the new canvas, kind of starting fresh, made to inspire, horizons. That's going to go in my journal. Show you. I have spread that I started. I had painted a lot of pages before I got here, and I found this piece of paper, and it says Florida actually, and then it has a beach scene. And so I am going to, on this side, paint a horizon and talk about that a little bit. I love horizons. And so every morning, every night, I've been walking the beach. So that's been really nice. And so I picked out Flow, this teeny one, Get Out More. And then I have this one, Mornings Were Made for Better Things. And then I also adding this because I have wanted this chair for so long, but I'm sticking it on my in my notebook so I will remember and paint a little picture. This is going to go on my porch. I was thinking about it as I walked by some of the houses, and I love their decks that they have out front and their cozy chairs. So I was imagining living on one of the decks in the houses. That would be my ideal situation. So I also brought um, another little small bag, and I have these paint sticks, these tempera sticks, and I've been using these pastel colors, which I really like. And then I also packed a couple earthy ones because I thought they would be really nice for Sedona. Just really nice colors. And I have a lot more at home. It's fun to choose what to bring, but since I drove, I need more room. And then I also have this colored bag, which I love. And this has been my new favorite, actually. I bought these, I think yeah, they're Bic. They're just colored pens. And I have been using them in just my regular written journaling practice. And it just, for some reason, it makes me really happy. And I got purple and pink, red and green and blue. So I've been writing a lot of affirmation statements in bold colors. So that's been very inspiring. Then a couple more goodies. I have another makeup bag. This one opens really wide, which I like. And this one, I have a glue stick, big fat one, and I have a pencil sharpener. And I did throw in some washi tape, which I kind of forget I have, but they're spring colors, so I packed those. I have a couple highlighters that I like. This is green, and I have a baby blue one in here. So I've been writing with them instead of using them as regular highlighters, which is nice. And then I have in here, this is my collection of stubby pencils. So when my pencils get really short, my colored pencils, I put them in here and then I bring them with me. And so once they're gone, they get too short, I throw them out. But that's been a fun way for me to get through some of my supplies. I am on a non-shopping ban right now because really want to use my supplies. So this little pink guy, he's almost done. And it feels really good to use up the colors. Black is always a super popular one. And then, yeah, so I have in this one. And these arts and supplies are not going on my trip to Sedona because I don't have the space, nor am I going to have time. I'm going for a Kundalini training. So I will be quite busy. But one of my most treasured things that I am bringing is this little case from my trip to Oaxaca. And this was gifted to me, and I added a new notebook. So it's a tiny little notebook. It's got waterproof paper. And I started I started painting when I was sitting at the beach one morning. I just had the beach and I brought my cacao down. So I painted that. And so I am going to add more. I kind of forget to paint. Watercolor is still a little intimidating for me. So I'm trying not to make it a big deal. But and I have this travel case that I like because it has just simple colors and then it has a little tiny sponge and it has this tiny pen that I can fill with water and use it as my watercolor brush. And so, and then I just have this, and if I want to add water, I can just squeeze it and water comes out. So this has been fun to play with. And I realize that if I can make my supplies simpler, I will use them. So I am going to bring this because I really wanted to paint the landscape in Sedona, Arizona. It's desert, and but when I was out west last year, just the colors of the green and the corals are just gorgeous. And I have a little notebook that I'm going to bring. And in this one, there's a little ruler, tiny glue stick, which is much littler than the one I have, and tiny pencil sharpener. And then I also have these pencils, which are nice because they're double-sided. So I don't have to pack all of them. Each one has a different color on each side. And there's a white and a black. And then I have a simple mechanical pencil for sketching. So that is going with me. I'll pack that up. And that is pretty much all I'm working with. But one thing that is been really helpful to me is before I left, I painted a lot of pages. So I went ahead and I had picked up some spring colors, just cheap craft paint. And I painted and I've been mixing, I mean, let me see, this one's like blue and green. This one's pretty purple. And just I usually mix at least two colors, and I just use an old credit card to swoosh it around. This one's a lot lighter. So I am going to probably bring this one, and I have a blank one that I'm going to pre-paint. I have, I'll show you. Um, I got some pretty paints from, it's just Craft Smart. I bought it at Michael's. And they're just, this one is coral pink, deep coral. What is this? Mocha. And then this one's rose. And I have a cream too. So that's what I'm going to do the next 2 days before I go is I'm going to pre-paint. I have the same notebook, the same size. I'm going to pre-paint some pages and bring it with me. And I'm going to use this as kind of my journal, my personal journal, but then I'll also put any notes from the Kundalini training I'm doing. So yeah, so that's what I am going to take with me. And I will need to do a little bit of organizing, but I don't see anything else. Yeah, I think that's it. I just wanted to share. I leave on Wednesday, so I will post this on Thursday. And if I can, I will try and post. I will be in Phoenix for a couple days, so I will try and post another one and see if anything changed or what else is new with me. Uh, Taurus, the sun moves into Taurus on Sunday, which is lovely. Taurus is an opportunity, it's an earth sign. So it's an opportunity to kind of land after all this fiery Aries energy. And please grab the free resource for the Aries booklet. And there is a Taurus one which I will post also. And they're just there's some herbal recipes in there. There's some journal prompts, tarot spread. So it's just an easy way to work through the season and take note of how you're feeling, what's moving through you. And just remember that wherever you go, your biggest resource of home is within you. So if you're feeling scattered, especially if traveling, but sometimes you feel ungrounded or just a little bit, yeah, anxious, nervous, see if you can put your feet on the ground and even put your hand on, hand on your heart, hand on your belly if you'd like, and then just take a couple nice deep breaths in through your nose and just have a nice exhale out to your mouth. And it's just a wonderful way to bring yourself into presence a little bit more. And I definitely use that a lot when I travel because it's easy to get a little out of sorts. So I am going to pack up some of my supplies and go to the beach. It is beautiful here, and I'm going to take advantage of the weather. So thank you for being patient, and I hope that these videos uh, are helpful at all, maybe inspiring. I will try and put the links for everything. If not, I will come back and add them. But yeah, the weather is calling me. So thank you for being here, and I will talk to you soon. Okay, bye.